the 5th podcast of this special National Maritime Day Week podcast program by the Port Arthur International Seafarers Center and sponsored by the Port of Port Arthur. I'd like to welcome Doreen Batto with me. Most of these podcasts, I've actually forgot to introduce her, but I decided to go ahead and do that today, so you'll know who this woman sitting next to me is. Doreen Batto is the Secretary General of the Apostleship of the Sea of the United States of America, and she is the past president here at the Port Arthur International Seafarers Center.
So we just wanted to thank everyone for joining us this week. Normally, we have a couple of very big celebrations for National Maritime Day here in Port Arthur. And this year we decided that even though we could not get together physically with everyone, we're just so very proud of all the many things that our maritime community is continuing to do during this time of pandemic. And so we would have been remiss in not still celebrating this amazing industry. And we want to thank all of the various groups who assisted with us this week, the Nautical Institute, the Council of American Master Mariners, the Propeller Club Ports of the Sabine Neches, Wright Ships, WGMA, Apostleship of the Sea, Diocese of Beaumont, AOS USA, and also the Port Arthur International Seafarers Center for all the tremendous support. And of course, the Port of Port Arthur for being our sponsor.
Now, today, we're going to have a very, very abbreviated podcast because we really want to invite you to go to maritime.dot.gov or go to YouTube at the Maritime Administration's YouTube page or Facebook page, because beginning at 9:30 Central Time and 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time, Admiral Mark Busby and other members of the Maritime Administration, including Secretary of Transportation Elaine Chao, will be having a special Maritime Day observance in Washington, D.C. And so we want to specifically invite you to that event because it's going to be very, very special. And you can look below in this posting and find the information about the website or the URL address to be able to watch this live. I think it'll be really a great opportunity to hear Admiral Busby, Secretary Chao, and others talk about the importance, historically as well as in our present situation, of the United States Merchant Marine. Now, what happens every year is that the President issues a proclamation for National Maritime Day. In fact, when National Maritime Day was established, Congress stipulated in the legislation that each year the president would issue a proclamation for National Maritime Day. Now, as of this pre-recording of this podcast, that has not come out yet. But what I can certainly say is that every year, every National Maritime Day proclamation has this paragraph within it. And it says, "Now, therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, do hereby proclaim May 22nd, 2020 as National Maritime Day. I call upon the people of the United States to mark this observance and to display the flag of the United States at their homes and in their communities. I also request that all ships sailing under the American flag dress ship on that day." So what I'd like to call upon all of our friends in the maritime industry on Friday to pull out their flags like they do on Memorial Day, which is coming up in a couple of days, on July the 4th or Labor Day, pull out their flags and show the appreciation of the U.S. Merchant Marine by flying the national flag. Now at my house, if you go down Willow Glen in Orange, you're not only going to see my flag, the United States flag, but you're going to see the Merchant Marine flag, and you're also going to see the Apostleship of the Sea flag flying from my house. As people razz me all the time
As looking like fun with flags from the Big Bang Theory.
That's right. Father Sinclair's being just like Sheldon in so many ways, and there's really a lot of similarities between Father Sinclair and Sheldon because Sheldon loves riding on the train. Saw that episode, and people know me. There's nothing better than traveling to Seattle by train on Amtrak, absolutely. And people will turn to me and say, "Don't you know that there are airplanes?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, but it's a whole lot different thing when you take the train." And they say, "Oh yeah, it's a whole lot different thing when you take the train." Anyway.
But we digress.
We digress. But yes, people would say, yes, that's Father Sinclair's house because he's having fun with flags today and identifying with Sheldon. But I really do invite you to do that. It can be a very special way and also maybe be a point of conversation when your neighbors look at you going like, huh? What? Aren't you a little early for Memorial Day? And you can then tell them about the importance of the United States Merchant Marine, founded in 1775 and continuing to serve our country in peace and war throughout that time. And so, and also for our friends at Seabulk, at Suez, down at Sabine Pass, at Moran, all our boats that walk our waterway. The president also invites you to dress ship. And, you know, I'll have to go back to my outage manual to check out what dress ship means, but I think it means pretty much clean the thing up and put your flags down. Look really proud that day. So let's celebrate this day with a great deal of honor. So we greatly appreciate everyone who is staying. Now, those of you who are in the Nautical Institute, as you know, in my note to you guys at the Nautical Institute, if you've watched all 5 of these things, send me your email. First, I will pray for you that you haven't suffered too greatly in this process. But second, I will send you back a continuing professional development certificate from the Nautical Institute for having done that. And I'm going to do this on the honor system because I wasn't in your house watching you watch these things. So I'll trust that you say, when you say, yep, I watched them all, and we'll do a CPD certificate for you. Also, these things are going to remain on YouTube and on Facebook during that time.
Correct.
Correct. And we also want to thank in a very special way all those who helped us with these things.
And I will read those again. That is the Nautical Institute, the Council of American Master Mariners, the Propeller Club Ports of the Sabine Neches Waterway, Wright Ships, WGMA, the Apostleship of the Sea Diocese of Beaumont, AOS USA, and the Port Arthur International Seafarers.
And if we don't get this development group mess this up, we also want to thank those who've come on the podcast with us, which include Captain Chris Horner from Lamar State College Orange, Kevin Sykes from the Seafarers International Union in Houston, who talked about unlicensed maritime training. We had Larry Kelly
from the Port of Port Arthur, Lori Taylor from the Port of Orange, and Mick Cowart from the Port of Sabine Pass.
Right.
And then we also had Aaron Bertrand from MEVA and Captain Augusta Roth from the Maritime Administration. And then
from Texas
Maritime Administration.
Texas A&M Maritime Academy. That's right.
And we also had Dave Heindel from the Seafarers International Union and Captain Jerry Pinnell from the AMO Star Center.
So we really appreciate you spending this Maritime Week with us, National Maritime Day Week with us. We couldn't be at the Sundial, and it's been what, God, 32 years that we have been doing that. We couldn't do that this year, but we were able to pull this really nice podcast system together. So thank you for being with us, and maybe we'll do this again next year or other special podcasts with important folks who are in the maritime community in Southeast Texas or who support the maritime community in Southeast Texas. So God bless.